The tongue, like a sharp knife, kills without drawing blood. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the presentment. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. The mind is everything, what you think you become. You, yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. The only real failure in life is not to be true to the best one knows. If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. Just as candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life. Let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little, and if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick, and if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So let us all be thankful. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. Happiness does not depend on what you have here, who you are. It solely relies on what you think. An insincere and evil friend is more to be feared than a wild beast. A wild beast may wound your body, but an evil friend will wound your mind. Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. In the end, these things matter most. How well did you love? How fully did you live? How deeply did you let go? The trouble is you think you have time. The secret of health for both mind and body is not to mourn for the past, not to worry about the future, nor to anticipate troubles, but to live in the present moment wisely and earnestly. There is no fire like passion. There is no shark like hatred. There is no snare like folly. There is no torrent like greed. However many holy words you read, however many you speak, what good will they do you if you do not act on upon them? Work out your own salvation. Do not depend on others. To be idle is a short road to death, and to be diligent is a way of life. Foolish people are idle. Wise people are diligent. What you think you create, what you feel you attract, what you imagine you become. Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. There are only two mistakes one can make along the road to truth: not going all the way and not starting. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. Do not overrate what you have received, nor envy others. He who envies others does not obtain peace of mind. The greatest prayer is patience. It is easy to see the faults of others, but difficult to see one's own faults. One shows the faults of others like chaff winnowed in the wind, but one conceals one's own faults as a cunning gambler conceals his dice. Purity or impurity depends on itself. No one can purify another. The wise ones fashioned speech with their thought, sifting it as grain is sifted through a sieve. To keep the body in good health is a duty. Otherwise we shall not be able to keep the mind strong and clear. To conquer oneself is a greater victory than to conquer thousands in a battle. The past is already gone. The future is not yet here. There's only one moment for you to live, and thought is the present moment. Without health, life is not life. It is only a state of languor and suffering, an image of death. Let yourself be open, and life will be easier. A spoon of salt and a glass of water makes the water undrinkable. A spoon of salt in a lake is almost unnoticed. In the end, only three things matter: how much you loved, how gently you live, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. Do not let the behavior of others destroys your inner peace. In the sky, there is not a distinction of east and west. People create distinctions out of their own minds and then believe them to be true. In separateness lies the world's great misery. In compassion lies the world's true strength. An idea that is developed and put into action is more important than an idea that exists only as an idea. Meditation brings wisdom. Lack of meditation leaves ignorance. Know well what led you forward and what holds you back, and chooseth the path that leads to wisdom. One who acts on truth is happy in this world and beyond. Do not be too quick to judge others. If someone does something wrong, do not immediately assume they are bad. Perhaps they just made a mistake. If a man speaks or acts with a pure mind, joy follows him like a shadow that never leaves him. We are what we think. All that we are rises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. The mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work if it isn't open. The whole secret of existence is to have no fear. Never fear what will become of you. Depend on no one. Unlike the moment you reject all, help are you freed. There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. Everything that has a beginning has an ending. Make your peace with that, and all will be well. True love is born from understanding. To enjoy good health, to bring true happiness to one's family, to bring peace to all, one must first discipline and control one's own mind. If a man can control his mind, can find the way to enlightenment, and all wisdom and virtue will naturally come to him. The way is not in the sky, the way is in the heart. Believe nothing, no matter where you read it, or who said it, no matter if I have said it, unless it agrees with your own reason and your own common sense. All conditioned things are impermanent. Work out your own salvation with diligence. You will not be punished for your anger, you will be punished by your anger. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. As with almeters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. You can search throughout the entire universe for someone who is more deserving of your love and affection than you are yourself, and that person is not to be found anywhere. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. When you realize how perfect everything is, Yah will tilt your head back and laugh at the sky. In a controversy, the instant we feel anger, we have already ceased striving for the truth and have begun striving for ourselves. The things that trouble us are the things we have become attached to. Every morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. All that we are is the result of what we have taught. The mind is everything, what we think we become. To understand everything, just to forgive everything. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal. With the intent of throwing it at someone else, you are the one who gets burned. The only way to escape this maze of suffering is to cultivate the path of liberation. It is better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles, and the victory is yours. It cannot be taken from you. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. If you want to know your past life, look into your present condition. If you want to know your future life, look at your present actions. Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts. To be kind to all, to like many, and love a few, to be needed and wanted by those we love, is certainly the dearest we can come to happiness. If we could see the miracle of a single flower clearly, our whole life would change. Hatred does not cease through hatred at any time. Hatred ceases through love. This is an inalterable law. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. One who conquers himself is greater than another who conquers 1,000 times 1,000 on the battlefield. It is a man's own mind, not his enemy or foe, that lures him to evil ways. If we could see the world as it truly is, we would realize that nothing is truly lost, and nothing truly belongs to us. All that we are is the result of what we have taught. It is founded on our thoughts. It is made up of our thoughts. As the Fletcher whittles sand, makes straight his rows, so the Master directs his straying thoughts. All that we love deeply becomes a part of us. As a mother would risk her life to protect her child, her only child, even so should one cultivate a limitless heart with regard to all beings. Those who are free of resentful thoughts surely find peace. Let none find fault with others. Let none see the omissions and commissions of others, but let one see one's own acts, done and undone. What you are is what you have been. What you'll be is what you do now. To be a monk is to have found the way of the enlightenment, and to live in peace of the Buddha, free from the oppression of passions and desires. It is better to travel well than to arrive. Whatever words we utter will be chosen with care, for people will hear the man be influenced by them for good or ill. All wrongdoing risks because of mind. If mind is transformed, can wrongdoing remain? A jug fills drop by drop. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. It is founded on our thoughts. It is made up of our thoughts. If a man speaks or acts with an evil thought, pain follows him, as wheel follows the foot of the ox that draws the carriage. The only way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. The wise ones, ever meditative and steadfast ring, alone experienced Nibbana, the incomparable freedom from bondage. The wise who control their body, who control their speech, the wise who control their mind are indeed well controlled. Just as a snake sheds its skin, we must shed our passed over and over again. Long is the night to him who is awake. Long is our meal to him who's tired. Long is life to the foolish who do not know true Dhamma. Happiness comes when your work and words area of benefits to others. The virtues, like the muses, are always seen in groups. A good principle is never found solitary in any breast. Silence the angry man with love. Silence the ill-natured man with kindness. Silence the miser with generosity. Silence the liar with truth. Better than 1,000 useless words is one full word hearing, which one attains peace. He who experiences the unity of life sees his own self in all beings and all beings in his own self, and looks on everything with an impartial eye. You cannot travel the path until you have become the path itself. A dog is not considered a good dog because he is a good barker. A man is not considered a good man because he is a good talker. Let us live joyfully, not hating those who hate us. Among those who hate us, we live free of hate. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be happy. Meditate. Do not delay, lest you later regret it. All things appear and disappear. Because of second currents of causes and conditions, nothing ever exists entirely alone. Everything is in relation to everything else. If you find no one to support you on the spiritual path, walk alone. There is no companionship with the immature. A man is not called wise because he talks and talks again, but if he is peaceful, loving and fearless, then highs and truth called wise. As rain falls equally on the just and unjust, do not burden your heart with judgments, but rain your kindness on all. If anything is worth doing, do it with all your heart. There is no fire like passion, no loss like anger, no pain like segregates, no ease other than peace, hunger, the foremost stillness, fabrications, the foremost pain. For one who knows this truth as it actually is, unbinding is the foremost ease. As a solid rock is not shaken by the wind, so few eyes are not moved by praise or blame. All that tremble at violence, all fear death, putting gone self in the place of another. One should not kill nor cause another to kill. One moment can change a day, one day can change a life, and one life can change the world. Teach this triple truth to all. A generous heart can teach, and a life of service and compassion are the things which renew humanity. Do not look for a sanctuary in anyone except yourself. A good friend who points out mistakes and imperfections and rebukes evil is to be respected as if he reveals a secret of hidden treasure. You only lose what you cling to. Better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles. Then the victory is yours. It cannot be taken from you, not by angels or by demons, heaven or hell. The foot feels the foot when it feels the ground. Radiate boundless love towards the entire world, above, below, and across, unhindered, without ill will, without enmity. You cannot step into the same river twice. Meditate, live purely, be quiet, do your work with mastery. Like the moon, come out from behind the clouds, shine. To conquer oneself is greater task than conquering others. Your work is to discover your work and then with all your heart to give yourself to it. We are formed and molded by our thoughts. Those whose minds are shaped by selfless thoughts give joy when they speak or act. The mind is the source of happiness and unhappiness. We will develop love, we will practice it, we will make it both a way and a basis. Take my hand and we'll do it together. Everything changes, nothing remains without change. All conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. The thought manifests as the word manifests as the deed develops into habit, and the habit hardens into character. So watch the thought and its ways with care, and let ease spring from love born out of concern for all beings. A man asked Gautama Buddha, "I want happiness." Buddha said, "First remove I, that's ego, then remove want, that's desire, see no, you are left with only happiness." To live a pure and selfish life, one must count nothing as one's own in the midst of abundance. Three things cannot long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Kindly support this channel. Thank you.